Hi everyone, my name is Steph and I'll be leading you through a restorative practice today. A couple of things that you might want to have nearby are some blankets. I'd say 2 or even 3. I love a good blanket. If you don't have blankets, you can always use a fold-up towel or grab the comforter off of your bed. You'll also want to have a couple pairs of blocks. Again, if you don't have blocks, no worries there. You can grab 2 household items that are of similar size. So think weights are good, spaghetti jars are a really great substitute for blocks. I've even used toilet paper and paper towel rolls. So you'll want to have those nearby. And then lastly, we're going to use some bolsters. Again, no need to have a bolster in your practice. You can always grab your couch cushions. You can grab the pillows off of your bed to use as a bolster. So our first setup is something I like to call Stonehenge. You're going to take your blocks or whatever is sturdy enough to hold some weight. I'm putting my blocks on their tallest setting. Then I'm taking my bolster, again you can use a couch cushion or a pillow, and I'm placing that on top of my blocks. Another thing that you can always use is a chair. Grab a chair, pull it up to your mat, and rest your legs there. I'm going to unfold my blanket so that my spine is also supported. When you have everything set up, you're just gently going to press or put your legs on top of your bolster. Ideally, just on top of where your blocks or your supports are. And then I'm just going to walk myself down, resting my spine all the way down on the earth. You can allow your hands to come out to your side. You can even take one hand and rest it on your belly, and one hand and rest it on your heart. Feel free to allow your eyes to begin to soften, or if it feels comfortable in your body, gently bring your eyes to close. As you settle into your restorative practice, allow your breath to remain natural. Maybe begin to lengthen your inhalations and allow them to match your exhalations. Begin to allow some movement to come back to your feet, back to your toes. And gently, one at a time, step your leg off of your setup. Roll to either side. And begin to lift yourself up. Our next shape is going to be an easy twist. So I'm taking my setup down. I'm going to place my bolster vertically on my mat. I want my right hip to be right near my bolster. I can bring my knees out in front of me. I can stack them, or I can place a blanket in between my legs. I'll turn and I'll face my bolster, walk my hands on either side, and lower my chest all the way down so that my right ear is resting on the bolster. Again, your eyes can come to a close, or you can simply soften your gaze. Another thing that you can do is stack your palms and rest your forehead on your stacked palms. Slowly begin to walk your hands back to your body, lifting through your chest. And begin to make your way to the opposite side. Again, turning your torso to face your bolster, walking hands on either side, all the way away from your body. Resting your left ear to the bolster or stacking your palms. Our next shape is going to be a supported child's pose. So you can leave your bolster vertically on this side of your mat. I'm going to take 2 blocks and place them on their lowest setting. And then I'm going to take my bolster and just put it on top. Depending on what type of surface you are on, you might want to take another blanket just to give your knees some extra support. My knees will come to about the width of my mat. I can sit back on my heels, or if I have another bolster or even a block nearby, if my hips are still lifted, I can slide a block between my toes and rest my hips down on the block. Then I'm just going to walk my hands on either side of the bolster so that my chest can rest on top. Again, I can bring one ear to the bolster, or I can stack my palms. If you have one ear to your bolster, take this time to go ahead and switch, bringing your opposite ear to the bolster. Begin to bring your forehead back through center and walk your hands back to your body, lifting your chest. Our next shape is going to be frog's pose. But again, we're going to stay supported. My bolster can stay vertically. I'm just taking it down from my blocks. I no longer need my extra block here for my hips. But I am going to move my blanket out to the right first. Then as I come back to a tabletop shape, I'll gently walk my right knee out to the right as I begin to lower my chest and straighten my left leg down. My torso will rest on the bolster. My right knee will come out to about a right angle or thereabouts, 45 or something, whatever is the most comfortable for your hip. My hands can be on either side of my bolster or again finding stacked palms and resting my forehead down. Walking my hands back towards my body, coming through my tabletop once again. Now you can just make your way to your second side. I'm just going to turn my setup around so that I'm still facing y'all. Again, having a blanket here for support, starting from my tabletop shape, allowing my left knee to walk out to the left this time. As I walk my hands away, lower my chest to my bolster, and lengthen through my right leg. My left leg can come out to about a right angle if that feels good in your body, but always know you can lower your knee down to about 45 degrees. Again, stacking palms and resting my forehead on my stacked palms. bringing your hands to either side of the bolster once again, pressing yourself up through a tabletop and bringing your left knee back in. From tabletop, allow any wiggles that your body might be calling for. Our next shape is going to be a reclined Supta Baddha Konasana. So just like we did earlier, we'll take our blocks. I'll have one on a tall setting and then one on a low setting. Going to use my bolster and make a ramp. I'm leaving my blanket here, and then I'll just sit in front of my ramped bolster. The soles of my feet can come to touch, and my knees can begin to open wide. If you are noticing that your knees are just hanging out in space, take an extra blanket, towel, pillow, block, whatever, and just place it underneath your knee so that gravity can do most of the work in this shape. Once you have your setup, gently walk yourself onto your ramped bolster. Allow your arms to open to your side. Palms can face up. You can bring one hand to belly and heart. You can rest your hands on your thighs. And once again, if it feels comfortable for your body, begin to soften your gaze or maybe bring your eyes to close. If you're noticing any tension or tightness in your neck, go ahead and grab another blanket. And place that at the very top of your ramped bolster to provide extra support. Allow your chin to gently fall towards your chest. Allow your hands to come to your knees or thighs and slowly begin to bring the soles of your feet to the earth as you guide your knees towards the sky. Come to one hip or the other and begin to lift off of your ramped setup. Our next shape is going to be supported bridge. Taking down my blocks, I'm going to place my bolster horizontally on my mat with enough space so that I can lay all the way down. I'm actually going to take a blanket here just to support my head and neck. Putting my feet on the mat, hands by either side of my bolster, just lift yourself on top of your bolster. And then begin to walk your hands down so that you can lower yourself all the way down to your back. I'm stepping my feet close enough, almost to the edge of my bolster. And you'll notice here that I added just a gentle roll of my blanket to help support my neck, allowing my shoulders to stay grounded on the earth. My hands are coming down to my side. Palms can face up or down, whichever is the most comfortable for your body. The small of my back, my sacrum, is supported by my bolster. If you want to have a more active bridge, you can take a block and slide it in between your thighs and gently hold the block in place as you stay in your bridge shape. Begin to release the block if you're holding one. And lifting your hips, removing your bolster from underneath you. Allow your knees to come to either side and begin to press yourself back up. Coming to our final shape, Shavasana. Now, I know typically in a yoga class, we just lay down, settle in. I want you to take as much time as you can building your supports for the most luxurious Shavasana you can think of. For me, I'm going to take a bolster on a slight ramp using my blanket instead of my block. Once again, making another pillow for my head. Taking this extra bolster so that I can rest my knees. And then grabbing this last blanket to create a little cocoon for my feet. So I just unfold and then sort of slide my feet in like an envelope. Once I feel like I have everything that I need, then I'll gently lower myself all the way down to settle in. Again, your hands can come to rest at your sides. You can even bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Allow your ankles to begin to soften. Allow your knees to melt into any supports they are resting against. Feel your sits bones grounded towards the earth and the complete support of your spine. Allow your gaze to soften or bring your eyes to close. Feel free to continue resting here as long as you need. May you be happy. May you be whole. May your life find ease, and may you know you are enough. Ashe.